Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us.
Topping our news tonight at 6, Florida Governor Rick Scott just wrapping up a visit to Sarasota.
The governor paid a visit to Rapid Composites on 72nd Drive East to talk all about job growth here in the Sunshine State. ABC 7's Rick Adams joins us live with more on the governor's visit. Rick?
Yeah, good evening, Scott and Jacqueline. The governor wrapped things up in here just a little while ago. He did meet with and spoke to some very excited workers at Rapid Composites. They're a company that designs, engineers, and manufactures hardware for law enforcement and the military. The governor says there have been nearly 1.5 million jobs created by Florida businesses since 2010.
I think it's great to see all this technology and all these young people building companies of the future. And so Sarasota is a beautiful community. They have a lot of talent here. So it's exciting to see what Alan's done here and see this team and how excited they are about the products they're developing. I like the fact that they're developing products for the U.S. Navy and for first responders and for the rest of the military, because we all think about it, we all want to be safe, whether it's your local police departments and sheriff's departments do well, and you clearly want our country to be safe.
And the governor was certainly treated to some pretty cool stuff here. They were just doing a drone demonstration right back there. Really, really neat stuff, high-tech stuff. And we'll have a lot more on this coming up tonight at 7 o'clock and also 11 o'clock. In the meantime, reporting live from Sarasota this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Rick. Anna Maria Island residents are fighting to get two former Public Works employees their jobs back after the men were fired for taking planks from the city pier. After Hurricane Irma destroyed the pier, Jeanette Langer was worried the city would throw out the plank that she sponsored in memory of her grandson. She reached out to the mayor, and when she didn't hear back, she told her family, friend, and City of Anna Maria Public Works employee Peter Peer about her concerns. He went to the pier with his co-worker Taylor Manhart while they were working and took two planks for their loved ones, replacing them with other boards. 2 days later, they were both fired.
I never even thought second, because I figured it was no big deal. I mean, because they were going to tear the dock down. And that was the last couple days before the last of anybody could request a plank. So, she was scared, and I was, it's a good friend. I've known her for a long time.
The city came and took the Langer family's plank back. The last day to request a sponsored plank was January 26th. At Thursday's City Commission meeting, the community is presenting the mayor with a petition asking for a lesser punishment for those two men.
Time now to get a check on our weather today. The sun has gone down, but it was a beautiful day here on the Sun Coast. Almost down, right, Bob? Not quite.
Just about. Yeah, it's a little later now. Things are getting longer. This is Anna Maria webcam from the Bimini Bay. And again, Ed Goff providing this shot. You can see pretty calm conditions out there. Look at these clouds, high, thin cirrus clouds racing ahead and out ahead of a frontal system. And that cold front is still well to the north of us. The front itself, not much to it, as the cold front extends all the way down through the panhandle of Florida, then off through Louisiana. It's moving slowly to the south. There's not a big push from the north to the south right now. So this front gets close to us, but then falls apart, but close enough to bring us some fog tonight and tomorrow morning, and then some clouds down again throughout the day on Thursday. No real threat of any significant rainfall here. Now, this main area will head off basically to the northeast tomorrow and move away from us as far as the low pressure area goes. 74, comfortable out there. After highs today, we're near record-breaking highs. It's 67 on the dew point. Winds are out of the southwest at 5. The pressure 3018, and now that is still high, and it's just a little lower than it was last night at this time. 65 by 11 tonight. Just a few clouds around, staying pretty mild through this evening. We'll have more in your weather forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. With Governor Rick Scott's announcement today on Florida jobs, he also announced a new job placement partnership to help displaced Puerto Rican families find jobs here in the state after Hurricane Maria. That partnership will be between education, business, and workforce development organizations. The announcement comes on the heels of a $1 million investment into Florida's workforce to help those displaced families. Venice's Jacaranda Roundabout is under review after a private study suggests the roundabout may be approaching its maximum amount of daily drivers.
ABC 7's Christopher Brantley joins us from the roundabout with more on what this means. Christopher?
Well, this means basically that as a new study basically says that the roundabout will reach its maximum amount of daily drivers in just a couple of years. When it was first designed, Sarasota County hoped the roundabout would accomplish two important tasks.
It would slow traffic down, and two, it would be safer in terms of fatalities. Both are correct.
While it has stopped fatal accidents, driver Jackie Jones is still uncomfortable with it.
I have to be honest, when I approach it, I approach very carefully.
Venice Regional Hospital, which wants to build a new hospital nearby, hired a company to study the roundabout. While the Florida Department of Transportation suggests two-lane roundabouts not exceed daily traffic of 45,000 cars, the hospital study says the roundabout is at 41,200.
So much depends on when you take the data, both time of year and time of day, and weather. I mean, you think about it, there are all sorts of problems.
Jim Bennett, who served 5 years on the Metropolitan Planning Organization, said he wouldn't be surprised if Sarasota County removed the roundabout, especially if either of the connecting roads was widened.
I don't think they have any money to increase the roundabout size or redesign it once more.
As for Jones, she sees the benefit of the roundabout, but worries about increased growth in the area. If more people are using it, it may become dangerous.
I don't think the roundabout is the safest way for heavy traffic to travel, because you still get your people who are in a rush.
Sarasota County tells us they are reviewing the study, but they couldn't say more than that. We do know the study predicts that by the year 2020, this roundabout will have exceeded its amount of daily drivers. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you so much, Christopher. A proposal that would create voucher-like scholarships for students who have been bullied in public schools continues to move forward in the Florida House. The House Education Committee approved a bill today that would create the Hope Scholarship Program. It would be funded through drivers making contributions when they buy cars. In exchange for the voluntary contributions, the motorists would receive credits on taxes they would otherwise pay on the purchases. Supporters of the bill say the legislation could help close to 6,000 students have a chance for a better education, while opposition to the measure says it is just another attempt to expand the use of taxpayer dollars by private schools.
This is a bill to help the victims of our state to escape their schools if they cannot function anymore.
It does not guarantee that we're going to deal with the problem of how do we stop the bullying. It does not guarantee that the recipient of a Hope Scholarship will get a quality education.
That piece of legislation is now ready for a final vote by the full Florida House of Representatives.
Big day for book lovers here on the Suncoast. New York Times bestselling author James Patterson featured this morning at a luncheon hosted by the Library Foundation of Sarasota County. The Alex Cross author speaking as a guest for the library's new campaign called What eBook Would You Donate? The goal is to raise $200,000 for new digital books and audiobooks for Sarasota County libraries.
We will add 8,000 new digital resources and increase the collection by 36%. The same people read a print book sometimes, they want an e-book when they're traveling, they want an audio book when they're in the car, so the demand is beyond our capacity to meet that demand, which is why we're having this campaign.
Patterson, by the way, said his favorite book that he would donate to the campaign is one called The Book Thief. I love e-books. I mean, I have that with me every day.
I really haven't gotten into it. I still kind of like having the book in my hand and being able to carry it wherever.
I used to be that way, but it's just so nice and small.
Probably convenient. I should look into that.
Still to come in your Suncoast News on National Black HIV Awareness Day, how a Suncoast medical clinic is trying to educate people about prevention.
Plus, the latest numbers are in. A look at how the Affordable Care Act stacked up in comparison to previous years in light of an overhaul on health care.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin?
So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Why do that?
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Minnie, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Soupan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
All across the Suncoast, efforts are being made to reduce the number of people infected with HIV. That work was highlighted today with National Black HIV Awareness Day. Recent statistics show the Black community is among the hardest hit by the HIV epidemic, with African Americans up about 43% of all HIV infections nationally. The Community AIDS Network offering free testing today, as well as education on a method of prevention called PrEP.
PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis, and it is important for people living with HIV because if we find someone who is not HIV positive, they can take this pill to prevent transmission from happening, and it is 95% accurate to not transmit the virus.
PrEP is recommended for anybody who is sexually active.
Nearly 11.8 million Americans have signed up for coverage this year under former President Obama's health care law. That's about 3% less than last year. Enrollment remained remarkably stable despite repeated efforts to repeal the program. The outlook for next year, though, remains unclear. Congress has repealed the unpopular requirement that most people carry health insurance or risk fines from the IRS. That's expected to embolden some healthy people to go without coverage, which would raise premiums for those left behind.
Stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will have a look at your First Alert weather forecast for the week ahead and the weekend as well.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Here's today's Job of the Day. ABC 7 is seeking an assistant news director to guide daily operations. Minimum 3 years newsroom management experience required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
Bob was out on the water this morning doing
Yes.
some fishing. Finally, some nice
Beautiful
weather
day.
to do that.
It's
huh?
great weather. On top of that, fish are biting. That's
Okay.
according to Johnny. Last couple of days, yesterday he called me and said, "Listen, they're biting." He's went out today, and he's right. They're biting, and it's probably due to the warm water temperature that's really come up after a pretty chilly winter thus far. It's in the upper 60s now. Here's a look at Johnny. And speaking of Johnny, he brought his mom up. Mom out there. There's Grandma, or they call her Granny. She got great grandkids and grandkids, obviously, and she was out there along with Joanne. And Joanne and by the way, his mom caught the biggest fish and the first fish, and she's still there at 97 years young. 97 years young, and she took Johnny out fishing many years ago. Remember, take a kid fishing, because one day they may take you. Well, Johnny took her out today. Well, get a look at this: high, thin cirrus clouds that were blowing up and blowing in. You can see a sundog. Dottie asked me, what's this unusual light here? Well, it's dogging the sun on a 45-degree angle. It's a result of the refraction and reflection of ice crystals. When the light goes through them, acts like a prism and creates a secondary sun. Sometimes this can be really quite prevalent and bright. In this case, it was. Now, that was just sent into our pics at mysuncoast.com and the Van Wezel webcam. You'll see it right here. Ready to go real quickly. You saw it briefly there, push on by. And we'll post those on our Facebook page here in just a little bit. Fog developing, weather headlines. That's the first thing late tonight. Staying warm, and then a slight chance for some weekend showers moving in. The rain chance is not all that high at this point at 30% on Sunday and on Monday. Well, Futurecast showing this front falling apart. A few showers possible tomorrow morning north of us, but for us, we'll see a mixture of sun and clouds, more clouds than sun. And you'll notice that this is basically sea fog. And what happens is that warm, moist air moves over and out ahead of the actual cold front. It cools and condenses due to the water temperature. But since the water temperature has come up, it may not be as prevalent, but this particular model indicating it may hang around quite a bit tomorrow. And then we'll see that lift a little bit, become some mid to lower level clouds in the late afternoon and evening. By Friday, those winds switch around back to the east and south, and that means we'll warm up again. 80 degrees the expected high on Friday, and a little bit warmer on Saturday. So this front now producing some rainfall into North Florida. Notice how we had some deep yellows and reds there indicating the stronger storms earlier today. That's weakening because there's not much contrast now as the main energy is well to the north of the front. And the front is actually lining up with the upper level winds, so there's no big penetration to the south. This will sag a little bit further southward over the next, say, 6 hours or so, and then pull up stationary just to the north of us. And you can see some of the high cirrus clouds again moving in from the Gulf of Mexico. Current conditions at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport. Sun is set now, 74, and the dew point is at 67. Winds out of the southwest at 5. The pressure 3018, and that's pretty high. 82 the high was really high, 10 degrees above average today. 72 in Jacksonville, now 78 in Orlando, 77 in Miami. And around the area, temperatures into the upper 60s to low 70s now from Bradenton down to Inglewood, 71 there. Venice at 72. The Gulf water temperature now 67. Arcadia at 78 degrees, and Lakewood Ranch at 78 as well. Well, here's the forecast then for tomorrow. Some fog, low clouds around up until around 10, 11 o'clock. And then we'll see that lift somewhat, still hanging around though with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. High temperatures, despite the presence of clouds, will still warm into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. And as far as the Northeast is concerned, they're getting hammered by a winter storm. Now, a fast mover moving through Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and some freezing rain into Boston. It's kind of a nasty day there. Behind it, much colder air has settled in. And yet there's another storm system brewing, which will bring more snow across parts of the central U.S. and, yes, near Toledo and Cleveland on into Friday and Saturday. For boaters tomorrow, not too bad. Southeast winds turn to the southwest. Seas running 2 feet or less with a light chop out there for boaters. Well, here's the 7-day forecast. Mid to upper 70s because of the clouds, still above average though. And then we warm to 80 on Friday, 81 on Saturday. That slight chance for showers comes late Sunday and into Sunday night at 30%. You get the picture. The storm system kind of weakens and dissipates, and temperatures remaining pretty warm even after the front moves on through. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thanks so much. We're going to tee it up on the Dream 18 next.
First out the door when it matters most. For more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured or arrested, I know this feels like the end of the road, but really it's the beginning of a long, potentially stressful process. So give us a call. Let us give you some peace of mind.
Everyone likes the 2018 Honda Civic for $169 a month. You made Civic the best-selling compact car in America. You'll like Civic's 5-star safety ratings and that KBB.com named Civic a best buy and the most awarded car. Get the 2018 Civic at a payment you'll love. $169 a month today at your local Honda dealer.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
In tonight's Dream 18, we visit a popular golf course in northeast Manatee County.
ABC 7's Bob Harrigan visits Buffalo Creek Golf Course in Palmetto.
Well, welcome to another edition of Dream 18 here at Buffalo Creek in Manatee County in Palmetto. And joining me now is the GM, Ryan Henderson. Ryan, good seeing you again.
Great to see you, Bob.
Hey, we got a great hole here. What do we got?
This is our number 10 hole. It's a par 4, plays about 375 yards. We're at an elevated tee. Today it might play a little longer as we're into the wind a little bit. But great hole.
It looks like it. Let's go give it a shot.
Sounds great.
All right. I lost it.
Dead center, maybe a little further back, but good looking shot.
That's important. Ron Garl Design. You guys got that. Now, I just met and talked to Ron Garl. He redid Heritage Oaks, I believe it was, in Sarasota County.
Absolutely.
Had a chance to interview him and talk to him. He remembered me because he redid the Meadows as well.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's got courses all over the world.
He really does.
Yeah, so it's a great layout here.
Great layout.
All right. So I left myself some trouble here.
Well, you've got about 195 into the green. You've got a little headwind, kind of plays uphill a little bit.
Well, let me see if I can do something with this, the big stick here. I'm gonna have to pull out the big stick on this one. 100 and what'd you say?
You got 195 to the flag.
Okay.
Boy, it looks good. Looks real good. I think it just snuck up there on the front edge.
Yeah, it's on the right side. Long way to go, but hey, I made it.
That's really good looking shot.
On and reg. That's what I'm talking about, right? No, it's too hard. It's too hard. Oh! But I gotta make a long putt for a par, huh? Nope. Ah, man. Just missed it, but it's a good putt.
Good putt.
18 inches past the hole is always good. Dylan Drost, head superintendent out here. Great course, good shape. How's the rest of the holes?
The rest of the holes are looking great. Everything's overseeded from tee to fairway around the greens. Green speed's up, so everything's in a good shape right now.
And it's looking good, too.
Yep.
Really quite nice. Thank you very much. Ryan, appreciate it.
Great to have you as always, Bob.
Thanks for joining us for another round of Dream 18. Got to play a few more holes after that, too. I still got about bogeys on all the other ones. But it was nice, you know, that drone shot, you can see the greens and the fairways are really quite lush out there. So they got them overseeded, and it's really quite nice. A very, very challenging course, Ron Garl design.
Been there a long time. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Bob. World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
We'll see you again at 11. Have a good night.
For the last decade, SNS Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
It's Greek time! February 8th through the 11th at the 34th Annual St. Barbara Greek Festival. Bring your family and friends. Treat yourself to authentic Greek home cooking and pastries. Plus, dance to traditional Greek music. Visit a marketplace filled with crafts and jewelry from local artisans. Children will enjoy the kids' zone and everyone will have a good time. Bring your appetites and spend a day in Greece without leaving the area. The Greek Festival at St. Barbara Greek Orthodox Church just north of University Parkway, where Lockwood and Talevast roads meet. Yasu!
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Please join us in welcoming the two newest additions to the Lincoln lineup, our flagship luxury sedan, the 2018 Lincoln Continental, and the totally redesigned 2018 Lincoln Navigator, featuring 450 horsepower, 10-speed transmission, and many best-in-class features. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment, every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt would leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long con.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you too.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC 7 is seeking a digital media producer to write and post fresh content to our website in real time. Excellent writing skills and newsroom experience required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job-of-the-day to apply.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.